Hello everybody, it's Mark Pruitt here with Stephen Shaw for another strategic money tip. Today we're going to talk to you about an accumulation versus distribution plan in your as you either in retirement or before retirement. And it's interesting, Stephen, when we talk about accumulation, which is you think that's the easy part. But even that takes discipline for people.
Absolutely.
As far as just accumulating. But, you work all day, you trade time for money. So you work and you get paid for your work. And that's pretty normal. But there are ways that you can begin to accumulate in a fashion that is beneficial for you or in ways that can actually hurt you down the road. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit in regards to accumulation versus distribution. So, Stephen, maybe describe a little bit as far as what people normally do and how they can easily get overweighted in an accumulation plan. Let's say in their 401k as an example, that's the easiest one to do.
Absolutely. It seems like we have been trained from the time we were young and first entered the workforce to defer. Right. From a CPA's point of view, it seems like the tax advice we get is make your taxable income today as low as possible by putting money into pre-taxed buckets and that kind of stuff. And it's good advice to accumulate. It's good to have discipline or to set things up on autopilot so that we don't see it. That's the good part.
Right.
But it's not always wise to always defer the tax bill for down the road, especially in today's era where we're pretty much in the lowest tax brackets we've been in a long time,
right.
I mean decades, right? So we always ask the question to people, do you think that tax brackets are going to go up or tax rates are going to go up in the future or down? And 100% of the time, they always say up.
Right.
So if that's the case, does it always make sense to just defer those taxes for a later date? So people do a good job in many cases of accumulating profit sharing plans that are pre-taxed and 401ks and those kinds of things, only to get hit with a tax saving time bomb down the road in retirement.
Right. And that makes a big difference. And so what we don't want people to do is get out of balance. There's different buckets that you can accumulate and should accumulate. Example, just regular old money can go into accounts that have no strings attached. I mean, you can get to it anytime you want. It's 100% liquid. And those are good. Those are good buckets to be in.
It's after-tax dollars.
Yes, and,
right?
it's things besides just a checking account or besides a savings account or an emergency bucket account. But regular money that can go to work for you, but you can access if you need to, and there's no strings attached. When you get into 401ks or when you get into Roth plans, even Roth 401ks, those are plans that are meant to be accessed at 59 and a half.
Or older, yep.
And so if you're trying or you have the opportunity to retire early, it's hard to do that and use those buckets as part of your income stream. And so you have to have other buckets along the way. I can tell you if you're young and you're looking at this, and what do I mean by young? So young that you're just now graduating college and you're entering the workforce, one of the things we advise people is to not just look, Stephen, at the 401k, but to look at a 401k Roth because it's tax advantaged along the way.
That's right.
And that's a good thing that you want is to be able to have as much tax advantaged money as you can because it helps in those tax brackets when you're taking a distribution out.
That's right.
So how you accumulate money, whether it be a 401ks, Roth 401ks, regular money accounts, those are the three main things that you need to have. But, the issue we see is many 401ks Many people have just they've done this all their life, where they're overweighted in their
Right.
401ks.
They'll have a little bit of money in cash or
Right.
non-qualified after-tax dollars in a brokerage account or in the bank.
Right.
And then they have this huge, and that's a good problem to have. I
Yeah.
mean, anytime you have a huge nest egg, that's a good thing.
Sure.
But it would be more prudent to probably have that distributed or not distributed, but spread out among different classes of different tax classes. So you
Yes.
have the tax deferred, the after tax, and what we would call the tax advantage, such as a Roth.
Yes, it's exactly right. And so why does a distribution plan matter? Because it doesn't matter as long as you're working. Where it matters is when you're in that accumulation phase, but when it really begins to matter is in your distribution phase.
And there is a very distinct time transition to move from the psychology of accumulation and the practice of accumulation to I'm no longer trading that labor and time for money.
Right.
So now I'm going into a distribution mode, and how you manage the money and how you distribute that money back to yourself is not intuitive.
No, it's not. And if you do it in a way I'll just say it this way, there's ways that you can do it that are not in a tax advantaged way to you, and it can actually do things to your Medicare premium. So maybe explain to them, Stephen, the Medicare premium, if they take out and they go over certain limits, what happens to their premiums that are potentially could happen to their premiums.
That's right. Yeah. So that's just one little example of if you have distribution from taxable income from like say those pre-tax dollars, and that bumps you into a there's different levels on the Medicare stratosphere there, but basically it can end up costing you more in premiums. And a lot of times that can be avoided just by restructuring how you take money from where.
Right, and when. And
Exactly.
all of that is efficiency. So we want your distribution plan to be as efficient as we can possibly make it. And that takes some work because every family dynamic is different, and every resource that you have that you're going to draw from for the rest of your life. I mean, think about it. Once you retire, you're no longer being given a check and you're not trading time for dollars. You have to come up with your own check for you and your spouse and do it for the rest of your life. And so then you have certain things like age 72 where you have to take required minimum distributions out of there.
Yeah, that's a huge issue. And so obviously in this video here, we're not trying to give away those solutions because it's so dynamic
Right.
and customized.
Right.
But that's where our message is continually, don't try to navigate this
Correct.
arena on your own.
Right.
There's so many mistakes that can be made just in simple calculations and knowing where to take from when, or from what bucket when, and all those kinds of things. That's what we do.
Right.
That's what we help you with.
And that's what we're here to help you with anything that you need. So you can easily call our office number, 1-800-381-8870. You can talk to any of us here, Lamar, Stephen, myself. Morgan will be more than happy to help you and walk through it with you as a team and do some analysis if that's what we need to do, and then give you some recommendations to help make your distribution years as efficient as it possibly can make. Hopefully this has been helpful to you. There's a lot of different dynamics. We can't break it all down today, but there's absolutely some planning in place that needs to happen in regards to making it efficient for you. Thank you for being here. God bless you guys. Have a great day.
Thank you so much for joining us for today's Strategic Money Tip. If you have any questions about the material covered in today's video, or you'd like to speak with someone from our team, simply call our office at 1-800-381-8870. Also, while we have your attention, click the link below to watch our latest video. And to see more videos on tips just like this one, make sure to click the logo to subscribe to our channel. On behalf of the team at Strategic Estate Planning Services, thanks again for watching.